I monetize about 3 to 5 faceless YouTube channels every single month, and I can even reload this for you guys so you guys can just see that all of this is real. It's not some screenshot or something. As you can see here, we literally got approved for monetization on the 17th of March and then already made $62 that day. And then on the 18th, we made $85, and it's literally just gonna go up. So in this video, I'm gonna break down basically my whole strategy for you guys so you guys know exactly how to do that too. Now, for the people who don't know, I'm Steffen. I'm 23 years old. I currently make about $30,000 to $40,000 a month and constantly building new channels, as you guys can see right here. Then I've literally made $42,000 with literally 2 videos, and here you can see this one made $30,000, this one $12,000. I've literally built a channel from 0 to 48k in like 30 days, which is absolutely crazy. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the same thing, so you can trust me that you are in good hands right here. Now, that being said, I would say let's get right started with step 1, or the first thing. Now, I always say the work you put in before you start your channel is going to determine if you are gonna win or fail with your YouTube channel. This is also why 90%, 95% of my focus is always on niche research. You guys hear me talking about niche research on every single video just because it is so important. You can have the best video on, YouTube in a bad niche and it is gonna fail. But you can also have a bad video in a very good niche and it will win. It's very simple. It's all because of supply and demand, which we will cover in a second. So as I've said, supply and demand is one of the biggest things on YouTube, which most people just miss, and most people don't even know about the fact that YouTube has supply and demand. So this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is essentially seeing YouTube as a marketplace, right? And just like every other market, YouTube has supply and it has demand, and what you're looking for is an imbalance between these two to be then able to blow up channels or monetize channels as quickly as I do. Now, what does this actually mean? Very simple. Supply is, or demand is, what the audience actually wants to watch. All right, and demand, or supply, as I mix those two up, and demand, not demand, but supply is how much content is there already, as you can see here. All right, now what normal YouTubers do is they take years to build their personal brands. They spend years building a connection to with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and also hard work to build demand around them. Now, I don't just tell this to tell you this. This is actually a very important note, because luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process, all right? So instead, what we do is we look for a topic or a niche that has a lot of demand but no supply, and then kind of feed that specific audience, or that specific or those people that want to see those videos. We just feed them those videos, and if the videos are good or not, like, they're gonna watch it. Just imagine a town, where there's, just as an example, you can't buy any pizza there, right? Even if your pizza is not gonna be good, people are still gonna go ahead and buy the pizza, especially if they really want to eat that specific pizza, all right? And that's the exact same thing with YouTube. So if people, just as an example, want to watch history videos, but there aren't any history videos, and now you all of a sudden come and you provide them with history videos, even though they might not be the best history videos, people are still gonna watch that, all right? So stop focusing on kind of creating the best videos on the platform, because you first have to understand the concept of supply and demand, and then all of that comes after that, all right? Now, when we kind of look for supply and demand and look for good niches, there is a specific criteria. Just as an example, there are under 5 small channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. There are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months, I can actually create better content than my competitors. Now, this can also just be longer content than your competitors. In most cases, this is a very good how do you say it, advantage over your competitors. Guys, these videos are uncut, so sometimes I blank out. But yeah, because English is actually not my first language. Actually, I'm German. But yeah, am I actually interested in this niche? Not a must, as long as you build a team that has interest in that niche. Is the niche monetizable? Very important. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money in that niche. And then it's a huge bonus if you can post long videos, because then you can place more ads on your videos, which will then lead to a higher RPM. Now, very important that this list or this kind of checklist of niche research or niche criteria does not need to be 100% perfect with all niches you find. Why not? Because otherwise it's going to take you months and months and months to start your first channel and find your first niche. All right. Now, tools I would highly recommend for niche research are NextLev. It's like 13 euros a month. Highly recommend it. I'll show you in a second how that works. I'll link it in the video description. This is going to make your niche research way easier, way less time consuming. It's kind of a must-have when you want to do niche research. And then vidIQ, the free plan is enough. I'll show you as well why you need that. Now, the way I do niche research is I actually use a dummy account, right? It basically looks exactly like this. I'll show you in a second how all of that is set up, so I can already open it. This is basically an account that we only use for niche research. So we don't use this account to watch personal videos or anything like that. We only use this account to do niche research. Now, the YouTube homepage changed for our advantage, and YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch. So what we do is, and we use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless channels on our YouTube home tab. Instead of explaining, let me actually show you how you can do this. But before that, I just want to say, once you have a dummy account set up, you can find endless niches with it. Now, this here is how my dummy account looks like. So you can see here niche research. I'll show you in a second what cool niches we can find on this YouTube homepage. But let me quickly show you guys how I actually set it up. So just imagine that you created a brand new YouTube account and you're actually signed in. Now, what you're going to do is whatever you are interested in, you're actually going to go ahead and, for example, the biggest houses, just as an example, like this can be literally anything you're interested in. And then what you want to do is you actually want to go ahead and scroll down the search bar like this and look for faceless videos or videos where nobody shows their face. What you can do is you can just scroll through this. If you see, hey, nobody shows their face, you can click on the video, and then you just subscribe to this channel. You like this video, and you go ahead and here on the sidebar, you just click on faceless videos the whole time. And the awesome part is, while you're doing this, YouTube will then learn that you actually want to look at faceless, or that you want to watch faceless videos. So let me click on this one as well. Now, this does take a little bit of time, so you won't finish this up within like 10 minutes or something. It's gonna take like a little bit. In many cases, you will also already find small channels here on the sidebar, as we can see here, but it's just kind of clicking through all of these channels in the begin, and then you can go to your YouTube homepage, and here you will see a bunch of faceless channels. Faceless. You will see, like, after doing this for a while and actually using it to do niche research, as I do right here, you will see like YouTube is going to give you more and more faceless channels. This is my niche research or my dummy account, just as an example. You will only see faceless channels on this whole account, right? Now, let me show you what I would use NextLev for. So firstly, if you have NextLev, I would just literally scroll down. Otherwise, you would always have to look for, small subscribers, high views, and then click on the channel. But what you can do is you can literally go here to filters and filter the subscribers. So YouTube is actually, or your NextLev is only going to show you small channels. So then we click on go, and here we can already see car industry media, 1,000 subscribers, 230,000 views. So we don't even have to scroll through our whole YouTube homepage. We can now just click on this video. We can check out this channel and then have a look. Hey, would it make sense for me to go into this niche? So here we can see 2 weeks old, doing quite well. If we look here, let's see, 390,000 views. That might not be the best channel for me to show vidIQ now, and next level now. Let's have a look at this channel just as an example. Another small channel that we found on our YouTube homepage. All right, it's again a bit too small, but let me look for a bigger one so I can actually show you how you can use. Let me just use this one. Might be a good one. No, might not be a good one. Let me see. Too many very, very small channels. Let's take, for example, this one. Now, what you can do with here vidIQ, you can immediately see how many views is this channel getting in the last like week. And through that, you can then very quickly calculate like, hey, would it make sense for me to actually go into this niche? Would I actually make enough money to go into this niche, right? Now, you can always work with the average RPM of $5 per 1,000 views. That's usually the average. Now, next level is actually quite crazy when it comes to doing niche research. Let me show you how that works. So you can come here to similar channels and then in-depth search, right? And then here it will literally search for all of the competitor channels in this specific niche. Guys, this is no joke, underrated, and 13 euros for this a month is very cheap. It's saving you thousands, or not thousands, but hundreds of hours of doing niche research. Now, the next thing you can do with it, you can actually come into analytics and you can see the RPM of these specific channels. Now, for example, this channel would now see that, you know, it doesn't have a $5 RPM. It has a $2.60 RPM, which means that this channel is not making $7,500 a month. It's making roundabout, let's just say like $3,000 a month. So you would have like a massive miscalculation if you would not have next level, which is very important, you know, when you're choosing a niche. All right. So this is the dummy account. Pretty easy, not too difficult. Now, choosing a niche is, as I've said, the most important thing. And that's why I want to give you an example of Isabel. Isabel, just as an example, monetized 2 channels in less than 10 days. Why? Because we have put in the work before we started the channel. All right. Working together, and your channels were basically ready to get monetized within like 10 days or something. Like, obviously it took super long for them to get approved, but they were ready to get monetized within a few days, you know? So that was insane. Yeah. How long was it? It wasn't that long, right?
I talked to you end of December, and then 10 days after I monetized 2 channels. I mean, I didn't monetize. I hit the target. I hit the numbers to monetize 2 channels. So it was 1 channel in one day, and the next day I woke up, the other one blew up as well. So it was I think it was even less than 10 days, but I'm not sure. And then after that, I took like a month to actually monetize, to get approved. But then now I'm receiving already. So YouTube already paid me. I'm receiving my second payment. So life is much better now, much easier with money.
Yeah, that's 100% and awesome. Now, the people that win on YouTube will always be the people that put in the most amount of work before even starting their channel. And if you want to skip this whole trial and error too, like Isabel did, then check out the first link in the video description and go ahead and book a completely free call with me, and I'll have a look if I can actually help you scale up your faceless YouTube channel. All right, now we get to step 2. Speed is a massive factor in how successful your channel is gonna be. Now, just imagine there are 2 kind of people. Person A finds a niche and starts a channel right away without wasting much time. Then we have person B, finds the niche and starts overthinking, wants everything to be perfect, and posts the first video only 3 weeks later. Now, which one of these 2 people do you think is gonna win? The person that does everything perfect, or the person that just gets the video out as fast as just possible? Obviously, the winner is going to be person A, because person A will always outperform someone who overthinks and is not ready to get rolling ASAP. Reason for that is very simple. You have to keep in mind, YouTube niches are opportunities, all right? And you have to also keep in mind that YouTube is player versus player, and the person who's going to move faster is in most cases going to be the person that is going to win. And this is where your team of freelancers come into play. You need a team of freelancers that are ready to take action right away and get the first videos done ASAP without wasting time. This is the exact reason why we have dedicated teams to work on the videos of our students to speed up the process. Now, I would highly recommend you guys to, before you even go ahead and start doing niche research, hire a team of people, right? It doesn't need to be the most crazy freelancers, but just a team of people who can do very broad videos, all right? They can kind of do videos in every single direction. That is going to be a massive, massive, massive advantage to you once you want to start your channel, okay? Massive. So get your team ready. This is massive. Okay, now where can you actually hire your team and what exact roles do you need? Now, a thumbnail designer, you can actually hire them on X. On X, you will find quite kind of the best thumbnail designers, but they will also be a bit more expensive. Or you can also hire them on Fiverr, Upwork, YT Jobs, or onlinejobs.ph. Now, Upwork and YT Jobs is kind of my favorite when it comes to hiring thumbnail designers. X can also be very good. Number 2, a scriptwriter. Now, you can get these on Upwork, on YT Jobs, on onlinejobs.ph, or you can just use ChatGPT or any kind of AI. In most cases, if you want to get the videos out as fast as possible, you just want to use AI, write the script very quickly. I have a bunch of videos on this channel as well on that. And you just want to use AI to get these videos out as quickly as possible. Then we have a voiceover artist. Either we use Fiverr or we use 11 Labs, or we can also use Gen AI Pro, which is kind of a little bit like 11 Labs. It has like the exact same voices, but just for way cheaper here, 1 million credits for only $22, which is pretty affordable, especially if you go and test go ahead and test niches, Then for video editor, you can get them on Upwork. Usually I find the best video editors on here, like the best kind of, how do I say it? The best editors for specifically testing new channels or moving fast, if that makes sense. But you have to keep in mind that you have to train them up, all right? You can also get editors on X. On here, you will find more high quality editors. They will be a bit more expensive. YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, all good. I usually use Upwork. Then for channel manager, some of you guys are very busy, so you want to hire a channel manager. I would only recommend this once you have like a few channels, but you can look in your friend group. You can check on Upwork. You can use one of your freelancers. You can look on YT Jobs or on online jobs. Now keep in mind that if your channel isn't making any money yet, you will have to pay your editor a base salary, or once the channel is actually making money, 5% of the channel revenue. This is kind of the industry standard. All right. Now, I posted a 5-hour course on YouTube that shows you exactly how to always be ready and have the team ready, and how to train them up from the start, even with no skills yourself. I'll link it in the video description. It is very, 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 very valuable. Literally everything is inside there. I literally did not hold anything back. So after going through this, you'll know exactly how to do all these things and blow up channels yourself. Then last step is testing your niche. Now I always follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never work, and to focus on niches that are actually working, right? Because you can start 100 channels, and if 99 of them aren't working, you will, if you don't have this strategy, you will continue posting on them over and over and over again, and you will just waste your time, right? Where you could just start new channels. And that's how we monetize so many channels so quickly. So first thing we do, obviously niche research. Then we have to choose a account. So either a new account, personal account, an aged account, or even a pre-monetized account. New accounts are pretty good. And then aged accounts are also pretty good. And the best accounts, all right, the best accounts, I need to make a double correct sign. Best accounts are personal accounts, right? So these are basically YouTube accounts that you yourself use every single day. They're usually the best accounts. Now, pre-monetized accounts I wouldn't recommend using, especially if you're just starting out, all right? Then what you need to do is you need to get roundabout at the current moment. So I just want to remove this. At the current moment, you want to do 15 videos. So not 5 videos or not 10 videos. You want to do up to 15 videos. And every single video you post should be a little bit different to the one before. And that's exactly why I say, for sure, go ahead and check out the first link in the video description after this video, because they will learn exactly how to do that. All right. Now for these videos, for the script, you just use ChatGPT, VoiceOver, 11 Labs, or GenAI Pro, editor, just a normal freelancer. I would recommend you paying him $15 to $20 per video. All right. Don't spend too much money when you're just testing. Then thumbnail, you can either get a freelancer or just do it yourself. I would recommend, if you literally have no skills doing thumbnails, then I would probably get a freelancer to do it for you, just because that's going to be better. Right? Now, for the video length, you want your videos to be 1.5 times longer, because then you have a unfair advantage over your competitors, or a competitive advantage. All right? Not really unfair. You can make your videos longer. Now, why is that like that? Because you have to keep in mind, if you have a longer video, YouTube wants to make money, right? So they can place more ads on your videos, okay? So that's why you always want to have longer videos than your competitors, because you can very easily win them in average view duration. Then your thumbnail and your title, very important. They have to be very similar to what is already working. And then obviously you want to test as much as just possible with your thumbnails, which I all explain in the free course. Then once the first few videos are done, don't complete all of them. Once the first video is done, you want to post, skip, post, skip, post, skip, post. All right. So you want to post on a very inconsistent schedule. Sounds very weird, but this works. All right. Post inconsistently, because then YouTube will kind of see like, hey, it's a human behind that account. It's not some random AI. Now, one of two scenarios is going to happen. Either, you know, in the beginning, and for many channels, also the one I showed you guys in the beginning, you don't get any views in the beginning, and then all of the sudden blows up. Now, once this here happens, if it happens between like roundabout and before you posted the 15th video, then you know like, hey, all right, this channel is probably going to do very well, and you just continue posting videos. This is also the point where you can actually, you know, continue to increase the video quality if you want to. All right. Now, scenario 2, if nothing happens in the first 15 videos you post, all right, you leave the channel. You don't continue to post. Okay. This is just to avoid you wasting time and avoid that you spend a lot of money on the channel that will never work. All right. Now, the reasons why a channel might fail is firstly, because of the niche, might be the video topics, might be the packaging that you messed up somewhere, might be the video length, or it might just be a bad channel. Now, in case of your channel not getting any impressions, right, make sure to use, like, if you're not getting any impressions after posting 15 videos, repost all of these videos. So you delete these videos and you repost them on another channel, all right? And you do the exact same thing as you did on the first channel. And if then nothing happens, then it's usually one of these. Okay. Now, in case of the channel failing, you kind of want to repeat this process until you find something that works. But very important is that you continue learning. You always want to learn and understand what exactly did I do wrong. Only then you can improve. All right. Now, keep in mind, I have a completely free course, 5 hours. I go way more in depth into everything on there, like especially choosing a niche, testing the channels, the whole team and everything. So it will be here on the screen right now. Click on that and I'll see you on that side.